Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nodwin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. My name is Sia, and joining me is, of course, Azim on the desk. So, Azim, how are you feeling? What is the anticipation like for this match?
Oh, it's going to be an interesting game, grudge match, because ATKMB, one of the few teams to manage to beat FC Goa, and of course, finally their run coming to an end. And let's quickly take you through the tournament format in case you're new to the eISL, in which case, where have you been for the last 4 months? This is, of course, the end of the league stages, just a few last matches to go, and then our focus shifts to the finals, where the top 4 teams will battle it out on the 14th, 19th, and 20th of March. And of course, it doesn't end there, with the top 2 team members battling it out to represent India at FGS 2022.
Yeah, exactly. The FGS spot on the line. A lot of motivation for these players to try and push forward and find that spot for themselves. But besides that, we've got a nifty prize pool as well to boot. So let's have a look at that. Of course, a lot of money to play for, as well as that personalized NFT, Azim, for that MVP player. So I think a lot of value, really, to be found in this price distribution.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a total prize pool of 78 lakh rupees, probably, well, not probably, the biggest ever prize pool for a FIFA tournament of this magnitude in India. So, really, really good to see esports growing at the pace it is in India. And of course, we hope to have more and more seasons of the eISL every year. But of course, we'll shift our focus now to what's happening in today's matches. And of course, we will, in just a little while, get a look at our leaderboard as well to see what's been going on. Of course, the top 4 places are all sealed. The order still pending. I think FC Goa would like to get their win, put a little bit pressure on Chennai and FC to potentially get up into 3rd place and consign Chennai and FC to that 4th spot and going up against SC's Bengal, who look now like hot favourites to see it through and get that job done, because of course with just a game in hand, Mumbai City FC cannot mathematically overtake them unless they drop some points as well. So for ATKMB, I think they're probably the happiest to be playing their last match right now. It's been a bit of a dismal season for them. A good recovery, you could say, towards the second half of the season, getting a couple of wins and a draw. And they'll be hoping to close it out on a good note for them as well. I'm sure Binder Tej and KT Dilong will be looking forward to showing us one last time what they're capable of. And let's have a look at the matchups for today and see who's playing who.
It is going to be Binder Tej versus Afnan and KT Dilong versus V Sharma. FC Goa going back to their standard Afnan playing game 1, V Sharma playing game 2 setup. And I think it does suit them to a large extent, because I feel like in general, while V Sharma has been better under pressure, it wasn't the case yesterday, actually, Azim, because in the co-op, we could see Afnan being the one consoling V Sharma, really trying to motivate him and bring him back up. So we were talking about how maybe we want to see V Sharma try to work on that and bring back that initial look we saw from him in the earlier stages of the EISL. And maybe now that top 4 is secured, like you said, this is just at this point just for bragging rights. It's a grudge match almost. For them to finish off the league stage of the eISL on a good note, get that win against ATK.
Yeah, but I'm sure ATKMB as well will want to sign off on a high. It's been we've seen them occasionally get into spurts, little spurts of form, looking like they could potentially come and do some damage to teams, and they did do a lot of damage to FC Goa's chances by beating them a few games ago. And there we see it was the same set of fixtures the last time out. Binder Tej getting the win against Afnan, V Sharma getting the win against KT, and then in the co-op, one of the few co-op games that FC Goa have actually lost in this tournament, it was Binder Tej and KT Dilong getting that win, getting their first 3 points, and also earning a kick sent to them by yours truly.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm excited to see Binder Tej one last time in an individual game. You know, he's been I'd say an enigma of a player, has insanely high highs and insanely low lows, and I want to see him end it off and then high today, just because he has the talent. It's really the consistency that he struggled with.
Yeah, consistency, and also on defense he has struggled a little bit, although you have to say his defense has definitely improved over the last few weeks. And he's a player, of course, has plenty of other stuff going on as well. Of course, has we were talking to him about his plans post the ISL, and he said, well, the first thing I need to do is study and pass my exams, which is also a very important part for for esports players to obviously it's not just about playing the games and doing the tournaments. You also have to be pragmatic and well, get the academics out of the way. And for all of you aspiring esports players, what are you doing? Why are you watching the stream? Go study. No, I'm kidding. But no, it is important to find that balance.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't really want to miss some of the last matches of your favorite teams. For example, today, this is the last match of FC Goa as well as ATK Mohun Bagan. And we know there's plenty of amazing fans just coming here to watch their teams finish off the league stage. Of course, when I say last match of FC Goa, it's the last match of the league stage because this team has secured their spot in the playoffs. They will be looking to push on forward from the playoffs and try to compete with each other in that FGS final slot for the FGS spot itself. And what a story that would be as the youngest team in the eISL, two of the youngest players there competing for a spot in the FGS. That would be, I think, a dream come true for both of them, as well as a huge inspiration story for any new FIFA players out there looking to make it as a top esports athlete.
Yeah, and of course it will be a bit of an underdog story as well. You would have to say out of the top 4 teams right now, not just the youngest team, but also not the team that's not really in the greatest form of late. Although we have seen actually all the top 4 teams drop points in recent times. So there we go. Smiles on the faces of FC Goa today. It wasn't quite the same yesterday when it was all stone-faced silence after that loss against Mumbai City FC, and it could have been all so different. I mean, we could potentially still have had a top 4 battle on if Mumbai City FC had not managed to win yesterday. But the job is all done. Everybody can enjoy themselves, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm expecting to see a lot of goals in this tie, and let's see what the players give us today.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of goals is what we want as neutral observers, and usually in Bindutej matches we do end up getting it. But the same can't be said about Afnan. He's been quite brilliant, I would say, on that defensive half, but recently has struggled a little bit on the attack. He's just not been able to find his groove as such. So it's going to come down to whether he's going to be able to do that here today and just end off his league stage on a good note, end off the evolution he's shown individually as a player on a strong note. But back to Bindutej, because he's setting up that attack in prolific fashion. He has that individual flair, but a keenly timed tackle from Afnan will now set him up for the count.
Yeah, it felt like he just wasted a little too much time at the edge of the box, so that could have gone a little bit more direct. This time finds the ball to Mbappe. Will he go for that? Just yes, the low-driven finish, and keeper saves it. But there it is. It's the goal. Bindutej shakes his head, a little bit of a smile. He can afford to smile now. It's because his last day. He can probably pack his bags and head off immediately after this game. His job's done. But there you go. It is job initiated, shall we say, for Bindutej. Gets the early lead, but whether he can keep it, that's a different.
Yeah, absolutely. And that lead we'll have to see for Bindutej, because that lead has looked quite sus in many games. But I think already one thing he'll be feeling great about is in the last few matches, he was not able to find that goal itself. He was really struggling in the finishing department. So the fact that he's able to not just create a chance, but get an early goal already done, he's going to be feeling happy that today there are no struggles in that finishing department as such. Instead, he's just playing around with Afnan, forcing out fouls that normally we don't see Afnan making. But a key tackle once again has got Afnan on that counter. Looking to move into the box, but just not able to find any space. Again, that Gullit, I believe, Kante combination just all over the midfield with respect to that pressure they're able to set up on the attackers.
Yeah, almost comical there to see N'Golo Kante trying to outmuscle Ruud Gullit. But of course, given the way the stats on the cards work, it actually might even be possible. You never know. But getting forward now, Kante, both players interestingly going for that solid midfield spine, not going for like a Bellingham or a De Bruyne, which you would favor for more attacking situations. And for Afnan, it's been a bit of a struggle getting those goals in recent times. Even the last couple of goals he scored have actually just been those long-range finesse shots, and they've typically been in like 1-0 or 1-all draws. So he struggled a little bit to find those goals in recent times. And Bindutej now looking very, very composed in that final third, and gets around Marquinhos as well. Will go for that shot and will bang it into the top corner. There we go. Looks like ATKMB are in the mood today.
Yeah, and I think at this point the curse for FC Goa against ATKMB remains, and Vinatej will be thankful that I think he got FC Goa for his final match. He was like, hey, I've done this once before. It's just like riding a bicycle. I'm happy to do it again. Certainly off to a brilliant start. 2 goals in 20 minutes, literally at that 10 minute mark. Basically, every 10 minutes he's looking to score a goal. And at this point, if he's actually able to maintain that, I would love to see him just pull off a monstrous performance to finish it off, because again, this player has got that individual flair, really. Okay, Vinatej, okay, calm.
Well, doesn't need to calm down. He's enjoying himself over here.
True, yeah.
And well, he might. It's been a disastrous tournament for the most part for ATKMB, and for them to now end it on a good note, end it all off with a smile, get themselves 13 points on the board. I wouldn't say they'll be happy with that, but considering how things started and they were just sitting on 3 points after 10 games, I think a return of 10 points from the remaining 10 games, it signifies progress, if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. The progress is what we want to see from every single one of these players. I was certainly hoping that they'll be able to push back in their future endeavors in the FIFA esports field, and of course in the eISL future platforms as well. So at this point, though, it is just all about this match. 2-0 lead for ATK Mohun Bagan, and what we've seen is usually an average of 10 minutes per goal. He's certainly got himself into a key spot to maintain that average right now at that 30th minute mark, but does give the ball away and it will break away. Not surprised. Weren't expecting that 10 minutes a goal to stay true, but it would have been quite enthralling if it did.
Well, maybe Afnan can provide the goal at the other 10-minute mark over here. Not quite working for him though. Afnan, his game seems to have dropped quite a bit over the last 2 or 3 matches for FC Goa, and trying to get in behind there is Bindratej again. But of course, Ruben Diaz way too strong there for that 94 rated Ronaldo card. But I'm wondering, actually, is it the 97 rated card? But yes, once there is that final prime moments upgrade card to Ronaldo as well, would be interesting to see how he competes. But excited to definitely see the 99 rated Pele. But hang on, it's oh my goodness, off the post. Very, very unfortunate there. Afnan finally worked a good goal scoring opportunity, managed to get the shot off, but the weak foot there sort of letting him down. He gets the ball straight back from Bindratej again, and almost could have just sort of turned the defender and been through on goal. But no, says Bindratej, not right now. Today is my day. Today I'm going to go and do all the goal scoring. Well, he needs to keep the ball a little bit better for that, but still, 2 goals up. ATKMB, 40 minutes played. If he can go into halftime, 2 goals up, I think he'll be pretty pleased with himself.
Yeah, I think he will most certainly be happy about his performances. I think he's been a player that is quite critical of himself inherently, so I think because of that, today's performance will mean that he can at least end off this eISL on a good note, and especially with his exams coming up, I believe, or I'm not sure, maybe they've already started, it will give him a lot more motivation, like, hey, let's go. All's well that ends well.
That's true. Although I'm not sure there's ever been a student in history who's heard about exams and been like, "Hey, let's go." But I guess our viewers can understand the base sentiment around that. But it is halftime. 2-goal lead for ATKMB. Bindratej with a little bit of a smile on his face. Not something we've seen for long parts of the season for ATKMB, but starting strong, and we'll hope to see this out and end strong as well.
Yeah, and 2-0 lead, of course, for in this half for Bindratej. We'll look to see if he can keep continuing that form into the second half, because I don't think Afnan is someone to take lightly either. He is capable of pulling off the comeback. So again, I feel like he's been feeling too much pressure recently, and this loss, even though like today he's not supposed to be feeling pressure, I feel like this loss is just going to add to that pile and highlight that point we mentioned, where of course Afnan and V Sharma are great players, but in the top 4 they have been the ones on the slightly lower run of form towards the latter end of this league stage.
Well, I can tell you one team that's going to be looking at this result and wondering what could have been, and that's going to be Bengaluru FC, because they needed to rely on ATKMB getting points off FC Goa, and if they'd managed to win yesterday, even if they'd managed to draw yesterday, they would still have been in with that shot of dethroning FC Goa, but alas, it was not to be for them. And now it's all about Afnan. Can he stage a comeback? We saw V Sharma come back from 2 goals down yesterday against Ashwin, but it doesn't Afnan has just really had that one chance. He's not, might have a second chance over here. This time with Messi, has to take that shot early. Oh, great turn, and again. Oh, looked like he had overcooked it, but that's a good goal. It is 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1 pulled up, and this is why I mentioned Afnan is not a player you can take lightly at any point. I think he can pull off a comeback. He can just turn himself on, and again, he's a player that I feel like really relies on confidence. It's a trend that we see with a lot of younger players, who don't necessarily have experience. Rallying back when they've got the confidence, they look like killer versions of themselves, almost Super Saiyan versions of themselves. But when they are on the back of their foot, they do tend to die down a little bit. But now with this goal picked up for Afnan, it's going to be tables turned. Azim, a lot of pressure on Brindatesh, and that pressure clearly showing a little bit of hesitation in that midfield. A keen tackle from Afnan, and now he's got the ball back for himself. Will look to build it up, and I think really suffocate Brindatesh and make him a little annoyed and frustrated for the lack of possession.
Ooh. And he's in here. He is in here. Will he go for the chip? Bindratej left the near post open, and there you go. That's the story of ATKMB and Bindratej's season, unfortunately. Scoring a lot of goals, but then leaky at the other end, and there a potential Terra Virtuous super moment of the match as we see the equalizer from Afnan.
Yeah, 2-2 already picked up, and a lot of composure, I would say, from Afnan, because as you mentioned, the near post was open for maybe a slightly lesser chance of sneaking the ball in, because of course the caliber of the keepers we've seen so far, after especially the new cards came out, makes it that much more difficult. So he goes for the guaranteed opportunity, sets it up for the in the box pass, and now 2-2 on the board. This is such a telling tale for Brindatesh. He's been up so many times and then just been come back on to lose the match, and if it ends up happening again, it's gotta hurt, man. Like, we were talking about how a 2-0 lead and a win would set him up brilliantly for the end of his season. If he ends up losing that 2-0 lead, he's just gonna be like, yep, this is what happened my entire eISL season.
Yep, we could maybe modify the quote to say DK or Bindratej dono ke saath aise hi hota hai. Maybe that quote needs, maybe just like an icon card, maybe even sometimes quotes need occasional upgrades. But halftime was looking very, very good for Bindratej. And we do see it's Emil Smith Rowe back in for Bindratej. See, his dreams have come true. And he has actually put Smith Rowe to pretty good use. He's managed to get some goals from him as well. So this time now coming forward with Pele, Smith Rowe now charging down that left flank. Let's see what he's got. There you go.
Emil Smith Rowe on the left is what we get to see. Honestly, I will say that I prefer if the card was a centre attacking midfielder, with Odegaard coming into the Arsenal team. He's been relegated to the left. That card individually is really, really freaking good. So we'll have to see what ATK Mohun Bagan and Brindatesh specifically is able to make out of it. Right now, though, just able to recover the ball, set himself up on the attack. A key touch has Ronaldo running down the centre, but instead elects to go back to Pele and trying to find space for that Ronaldo again. Ooh! Oh, yeah, that turn, if it had went through, could have been an easy goal, but Marquinhos is there when he's needed.
Could even have laid the ball off to Smith Rowe over there. Because he was in a pretty enticing position. Not quite sure what whether it's a 3-star or a 4-star left foot that Smith Rowe offers you. Maybe that's why, because he was on the weaker foot, he elected not to go for the pass there. But Bindratej suddenly looking to have come to life over here. Now with Smith Rowe, well, you can see the difference between 5-star skill players and just lowly 4-star players that most of us seem to own in our foot teams. I mean, it's a world of a difference, the dribbling ability, and of course, when you have the skill sets that these boys have, you can really maximize that. But now, you see Smith Rowe on that left. Does he have a cross into the box? He will find Hullet, and there is Pele waiting, lurking in the middle, and he does find him now to Kante. Oh, he's done brilliantly here, and off the post, so desperately unlucky there. It looked like that was the perfect finish from Bindratej, but just not to be. And great to see him growing back into the game over here. Afnan puts a long ball in there, and it will stay in for Mbappe. Gets past one, can't get past Kante over there, and Bindratej will come back on the attack again.
At this point, I think Such close goals will make this match much more interesting because 10 minutes left to go on the clock, Azim. Vintage in the first 20 minutes, he was averaging 10 minutes per goal, but since then has somewhat disappeared. Was still able to set up a really close opportunity, and now we'll just look to finish it. But pass slightly late. The offside, I think the offside trap right there pulled up by Afnan working out.
Yeah.
And just like that, Afnan is able to recover the ball, set himself up in this 1-2 from Mbappe. But Marquinhos is too damn quick for it. Let that happen.
And very impressively, Smith Rowe winning the headers up against a combination of Hakimi and Messi. So clearly out to impress his young Emil because he knows that CA is watching. And well, the ball in through the middle was on. Needed to play it a little bit earlier because it was immediately covered up there by KDB. I think Afnan spotted that danger, and I think will breathe a sigh of relief that Binditej didn't spot that pass earlier because that could easily have been a third goal.
Now again, Afnan on the push back at the 90th minute attack, I assume is what the players want, but instead Afnan just going for it. But just into the hands of Czech, and that 90th minute attack is going to go into the hands of Binditej instead, but he says no. I like the try you made, long shot. Go at it again, and that will mean that Binditej unlikely to get the win right here. The final opportunity of this match goes to Afnan, and he's going to try to make it happen. But he's kind of stuck. He's got to go for it. The time will run out otherwise. Okay.
Yes. And Smith Rowe kicks it out, and there you go. 2-2, probably a fair reflection of the game. I think both players enjoying that. Binditej will be annoyed with himself to not get the win over there, and had opportunities to do it. Could easily have been 3 or 4 goals up, but just couldn't take the chances. And now it'll be KT up against V Sharma. Let's see what they've got.
Yeah, KT Dillon up against V Sharma, and we'll have to see how that ends up working out, because for V Sharma, quite a similar position to what we saw a lot in the early stages of the eISL, a draw in that early match, and going into the second match, I kind of want to see a draw again, Azim, because I think that's the best result for both of the players. Like, as neutral spectators, I think it make both of them feel content, like, you know what, it's not a loss, it's not a win. It's not a loss, so it's okay. It's not a win, we would have preferred that, but a draw we'll take. And then it comes down to the co-op, where no player is going to feel as bad about losing as they would if they lost individually.
Yeah, well, it all depends on which version of KT the launch shows up. We've seen like the unbeatable, invincible KT on occasions, which just absolutely come and unexpectedly mauled the opposition. And sometimes we've seen the KT Dillon that went up against Tikka and just gets absolutely destroyed himself. So not been a very consistent season for him. And he'll be again hoping to try to get, at best get the win, but at worst definitely he would want that draw. He doesn't want to lose his last game for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been the minimum requirement that they would have set out with for today. Let's go out there. Let's not lose. Let's get another point on the board for the team. And and then pack our bags and head back to our families.
Yeah, the 11 points on the board for the Balli Balli. But at this point, I think if they're able to get 3, it would just be the perfect ending, as well as that curse to go like, we've always got you, even if we've not got the rest of the opposition. But you can see Smiles exchange over there, with the key goals being pulled back for the side of FC Goa to pull off that draw. Now, I think, Azim, one thing that is really cool that we're going to get to witness with this matchup is how V Sharma plays without the pressure, because I think surely today he's not going to care at all as much about the result. He's mostly just going to care about how he's playing individually. So I'm excited to see if that pressure factor was indeed a key reason why we saw a slight dip in form for FC Goa, because it'll tell us a very important tale, which is going into the playoffs. Again, there's going to be a lot of pressure. So if he's playing a different game out of pressure, then I think before the playoffs, that's what he needs to work on. But for now, I think we've got a key interview set up with Afnan, I believe.
No, I do believe it's actually Binditej waiting for us. Gonna head over, Binditej. So hard luck, another draw, and finally looks like your personal journey is coming to an end at the eISL. So a decent result for you, but generally overall, what are your feelings of the tournament so far?
Like, first half of the tournament was really bad for me, and the second half was a bit better, I guess, because I lost only 2 games in the second half, I guess. And I think that I've improved a lot. I've played with a lot of good players, one of the best in India, and that has helped me improve a lot in my game.
And about that, like you said, you played with a lot of the best players. So how has that experience been, living in the bio bubble with everyone right there? It's going to end soon, so is that something you're going to miss?
Yeah, I'm going to miss everyone here. Like 4 months with the same people. Obviously, I'll miss everyone. And we have made a bond with each other. We are like a family now. Like 4 months living with each other, going to each other's room, having fun, watching match, and eating together. So obviously, I'm going to miss everyone and the bio bubble also. But it was fun playing with them, and I have learned a lot from them.
Yeah. Are you also going to miss your unlocked account because now you'll have to go and grind the players on your own?
Yeah, I'm going to miss my unlocked account, but it is good if I play with the normal players. It will help me improve my game even more because
Love the
the unlocked
mentality.
account the players in unlocked account are pretty broken, like the best players we have in the game.
Hey,
Well,
here's
that's
wishing you
it.
the best of luck to get those players in
Thank
your
you.
vein.
Yeah,
But
thank
yeah,
you,
thanks so much, Bindu. We'll chat with you soon.
thank you.
I don't get the luck in my pack, so I might as well hope he gets it himself.
Yeah.
I do understand the mentality key. In general, playing with these slightly more buffed up players may not help you evolve as fast as playing with the
Yeah.
standard ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I haven't fired up my FIFA 22 in a while now, and in fact, I just put together a team that I was actually very very happy with. Unfortunately, just that Messi on my right wing is the player that's missing, but I'm sure I'll get there one day or another. But in any case, that's Bindra Tej, of course. That's his last individual game of the season. He's given us a lot of entertainment, and now. Moving on to KT Dhillon up against V Sharma. That's going to be an interesting match. Again, depends on which KT Dhillon shows up for this game. We'll be hoping that it's the one that can go out and really give us a good show. Got a smile on his face, so hopefully he's in a good mood, and hopefully he's in a good mood after the game as well to keep going in that co-op.
Yeah, and that good mood is, I think, what we want for every single one of these players from the early stage. We want to see if they can really end off the eISL on a pleasant note. Nobody wants to be like discontent, feeling bad about their end. So I think that is what is especially key. Right now, I think for KT Dhillon, it's exactly as you said, Azim. We can see either version. Either he's going to look absolutely unbeatable, or we're going to see a KT Dhillon that is plastered by V Sharma, not feeling that pressure whatsoever. And it's going to be an interesting affair, nevertheless. What I want as a neutral observer is just lots of goals. Like, give me a 3-3, give me a 4-4. I think that's going to make me very happy.
Yeah, what I want also is that black PS5 controller that KT Dhillon has with them, man. I mean, I have a white one, bit of a fingerprint magnet or a finger grease magnet, shall we say, particularly when you're playing sweaty games like FIFA 22. But sure, I'll manage to get my hands on those. Looking to get myself one of the new black faceplates for the console as well once those are released in India. But for V Sharma, he's going to be looking to get his season back on track, shall we say. Not been in the greatest of form over the last 3 or 4 games, very, very inconsistent. Managed to get that comeback win, which eventually boiled down to was sort of irrelevant by the end of it. But it's going to be good to see him. Hopefully, he can get back to the top of his game heading into the playoffs. Of course, this is FC Goa's last league game as well, and they'll want to sign off with as many points and the best results that they can.
Yeah, exactly. They'll want to finish this league stage off with as many points as they can. I think that applies for both teams, but even more so for FC Goa because, of course, they're going to go into the playoffs. So momentum for them is still very, very relevant as compared to someone like ATK Mohun Bagan, where the momentum is more about just ending off this eISL journey. Right now, though, however, taking a look at those head-to-head stats, you can see Vish Sharma, of course, far ahead with 37 goals. An opportunity for him also to boost up his individual stats in his hunt for that MVP slot.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a journey for him to get back. Maybe if he can score 4 or 5 goals in his individual match today, give us like a 6-5 thriller, that will work out for everyone. But yeah, we'll be hoping. KT will be hoping to put a dent in his ambitions as well. This is the last time for him as well. I'm sure we'll see him back in the eISL in some form or the other, whether it's with ATKMB next season or maybe we'll see a shuffle up of the lineups as well. But there we go. It is KT Dhillon up against V Sharma. It is ATKMB up against FC Goa. And Well, let's see if V Sharma is sticking with his narrow formation. It does look like it is the same 4-4-2 diamond formation, which makes him difficult to score against, but also makes it difficult for him to score if the opponent is keeping their defense very solid and compact. And we do see KT they're starting up with a front trio of Neymar, R9, and CR7. So in the midfield, it is KDB and Cancelo. I'm sorry, KDB and Hullet. Cancelo on the left flank, and good start from KT. Looking pretty confident on the ball over here, trying to hustle his way through, but just one body too many in the box over there for FC Goa. And now on the counter attack, big opportunity if he can find the right pass over here. Decides to go left rather than right. Again, could have slid that through to Mbappe, who was running through, but keeping it calm, keeping it cool, keeping it patient. That's the name of the game for V Sharma. That's always been his way of approaching the game. Doesn't make particularly hasty decisions, which can be a little bit of an Achilles heel for when he's going up against players who really just sit back and soak up the pressure. That's really when you need to make those really quick decisions, those quick passes. Make the pass before the defender can really react to it, because the reaction time over here is just genuinely so quick for this team of player cards. Oh my goodness,
Ooh.
Yashin almost sliding out of the box over there. And Yashin, one of the keepers that KT has seemed to persist with since the beginning. He's been one of the few propagandists, shall we say, the Yasin enthusiasts. One of course the all-time great goalkeepers. And KTB now, this is a good opportunity. He's got plenty of bodies in the box. Chooses the absolute wrong one. There are three better options over there, surely. But well, anyway, we shall now pick it up and get FC Goa attacking again.
Yeah. And at this point, really, for Yashin as well, I think possibly last shout for Yashin himself. It's not something you regularly see in division rivals. Maybe in a draft or two he gets a chance to play, but it's something, of course, that we've seen for KT Delon come through and for a couple of the players. So Yashin himself feeling himself on the ball as much as he can. But in these first 20 minutes stage, I think what has been really important has been the fact that mostly we've seen V Sharma dominating the ball, and one key point that you mentioned, which is that narrow formation that V Sharma regularly employs, does mean that the battle comes down to that midfield presence with a lot of room for his opponents to push forward on the counters because of that high line that inherently sets up because of his midfield presence. So I want to see how KT Delon is able to be ruthless on those counters, because I think that way we get to see a fast tempo of a match. But right now, an offside for V Sharma, and I think he's not happy with the way his formation's working out, so maybe some tactical changes.
Yeah, I think maybe looking to get at least one fullback involved in the attacks, maybe get either Cancelo or Hakimi involved. Most likely it would be, actually, it depends on how you want to approach the game. If you want to just be more midfield heavy and you want to have the fullback cutting inside rather than going outside to cross, which is, I think, what V Sharma would prefer. He would probably get Cancelo up, and if he wants to just put bomb crosses into the box, which is absolutely not how V Sharma approaches the game, you would then push Hakimi up. So let's see which one he goes with. No, it's a substitution early on. It's Messi on for Ronaldo. Ronaldo subbed off at 23 minutes for Messi. Oh my goodness, the internet would have exploded by now if they knew about these things. But it is ATKMB getting forward, and a good opportunity here. Again, the shot fake a little bit too easy to read, too telegraphed. And now it looks like it's going to be ball played into Messi, and I wonder if V Sharma now is going to try to start attempting those long range shots. He has a good free kick opportunity here.
I think he's going for the direct one too. Has the ball lined up for the top corner. Knuckle ball seems to be the call. Topspin instead. Ooh, barely missing out. Nice shot there from V Sharma, and I think it's really cool that we see him even going for that, because I don't think normally he's one to try for direct shots. So clearly just having some fun today in this low pressure match.
Yeah, definitely. And these are the kind of matches that you need to, if you want to experiment in the LAN environment and try a few things out, this is the place to do it. In any case, fairly dull opening 30 minutes, no real chances for either player. I think both players playing it relatively safe, and also both defensive looking very compact. You can see just how narrow the defense is for KT Delon to counter that very narrow formation that V Sharma uses. And I'm sure that if he gets those fullbacks involved, I think KT's defense will be hopelessly exposed. And if he doesn't get the goal by maybe the 45-60 minute mark, I think you can see those overlaps happening for sure for V Sharma. And at that time, it's going to be a bit difficult for KT to defend. Maybe we'll have to go to a 4-2-3-1 formation, widen up that defense a little bit. And well, if he can manage to get a goal before that, he might not need to do any of that. KDB doing a very good job this time. Goes for the finesse shot into the corner. KT Dhillon bringing it there. Brilliant stuff. Goal for him. A potential Terra Virtua super moment of the match. And ATKMB once again in the lead.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, we were wondering if we get to see the beast KT Dhillon or we get to see the slightly off KT Dhillon. It seems like it is the beast one most likely because of the fact that he seems to be playing a lot more instinctively. 1-0 already pulled up. A beautiful shot by KDB to make it happen. And now looking to push on forward is KT Dhillon. But the ball with V Sharma. And we've seen him bounce back before, Azim. So I don't think it's nearly over just yet. He's not one of those players who gets as affected by that early goal going against him. He has the capability to make tactical changes if necessary, mentally reset if necessary, and pull back the match. And I think as neutral observers, that's what I want now. I want it to end up in a draw so that the co-op just goes all guns blazing. We get to see some insane plays for both teams together.
Yeah, and V Sharma again, I think he's actually going to lose out quite a lot if by not taking those long-range finesse shots, because that has become part of the meta. And sometimes when you're struggling to break a team down, you need to have that in your arsenal. Oh my goodness, Yashin there with the save. Looked for all the world that was going to fly into the corner. It was timed perfectly as well. And now with Mbappe trying to bulldoze his way through, but the counter is on here for KT Dhillon. Let's see if he can find the right ball. He does. It's a smashing ball for Mbappe. It's about the first touch here. Not the greatest first touch. He would have loved that to be touched with the feet rather than the chest / head / neck control that Mbappe managed to do over there. But yeah, it looks like the chance is gone, or is it? Yes, it is gone now. FC Goa will go into halftime trailing ATKMB. KT Dhillon with the lead, 1-0.
Yeah. And it really does tell us a tale that we've seen even in the first matchup, right? Afnan had to push back, come back, and it's been a telling tale for FC Goa against this particular opponent. And I'm quite curious why, Azim, because while we've seen FC Goa have ups and downs and runs of forms against ATK Mohun Bagan specifically, they just look a little weaker till they look a little stronger. It's almost like they buy into the chaos that is ATK Mohun Bagan. They end up playing in their own playground till they realize, wait a second, we can play the game our way itself instead of subscribing to that mentality, and then they bounce back. And it's quite interesting again because of the fact that these players, of course, are quite young and therefore not as experienced as, say, someone like a Saranj who's played a lot, or even someone like a Lugmanu, but it will come down to them learning on the fly because they have made the top 4, and that's where the pressure is going to come up huge. And in that regard, I will give it to them. In every single moment, FC Goa players, particularly V Sharma as well, has developed a very keen ability to adapt and to persevere while maintaining his core identity. He rarely ever changes his formation or players inherently, but does make those micro adaptations which can win him the game.
And well, he will be needing to make some adaptations to break down KT over here for sure, because does look like KT's defense is a little bit wider now. Maybe he has made that formation change at halftime. Does look like it is still looks like it's pretty much a 4-4-2. Doesn't look like he's gone 4-2-3-1 just yet, which of course is the best formation to counter that diamond with the fullbacks on attack. But will V Sharma need to do that? On this evidence, yes, he will, because it's all too crowded and congested. And now the big switch to the right comes from KT. Interesting choice of pass over there. Ends up losing the ball. Not going to be happy with that. And a sliding tackle, not going to be happy with that either. Again, needs to not get too impatient. Does the right thing there. And now on the counter attack, lots of bodies in the way for KT Dhillon. Can he make this count over here? It is 3v2 for the moment. Needed to play that pass early to Neymar, but just couldn't get it away. But goes with Ronaldo. 1 nutmeg, 2 nutmeg, but the third one unfortunately not happening for him. And yeah, it's still a 60-minute mark approaching. It looks like V Sharma may need to make some changes there.
Sharma pushing forward, just trying to control the midfield. He's got KDB now set up with the ball. Has a couple of options, especially on the left hand side, with a few players being static and a lot of the defense moving forward to this right area. If he can switch the play, he will find a lot of space. But instead, with a piercing pass through the midfield into the box, Mbappe, though not able to get the finish, Azim. That could have been crucial.
Yeah, again, looked like just like in the previous instance when he got the shot away from Messi, looked like it should have been a goal. But again, the keeper coming up clutch. Maybe the angles of the shot a little bit too prohibitive, but he's finding a lot of joy down that left flank again. I think Afnan in that situation may have taken the shot with Messi, but V Sharma very staying true to his principles and gets the bit of luck over there. Unfortunate for KT over there. V Sharma. It looked like KT had done the job defensively with the ball deflecting very kindly to the FC Goa player, and it is 1-1 again.
And it's exactly what we were talking about. It feels like every single time in this particular FC Goa ATK Mohun Bagan matchup, irrespective of which players there are, ATK Mohun Bagan starts off on a strong note and FC Goa realizes, hey, wait a minute, we can just play on our own strength, and is able to adapt, come back and make it that draw at the end. We'll have to see if it ends up happening again, because still quite a bit of time to go, just about 22 minutes right now, and plenty of time for either of these players to pull off a moment of individual brilliance and find that lead now. The manual run set up, though the pass wasn't as great, so cleared away by Cancelo and sets up the counter for V Sharma instead. Sibio holding off a lot of presence right there to set up the switch of the play down to Messi, and the 1-2 now set up. Messi has a couple of options in the box, but Maldini's flailing leg denies it.
And a big counter-attack opportunity coming here now. KT needs to make that right decision over here. I think just had too many options to choose from. Ended up picking none of them. And now he's lost the ball. Now he comes forward. Does V Sharma with Pele, Messi, Mbappe, Eusebio, they're all there. Decides to just slow it down a little bit and just make KT sweat a little bit on that defense. You can see the defense is a little bit wider now than it has been in previous times, and that's a very, very cheap giveaway. And now, leaving quite a few bodies forward for the counter-attack is KT Dillon. And now he needed the big switch over there to Mbappe, didn't quite find it. Because if he made that L1 triangle pass there, that was over. I mean, that would have been almost nailed on to be a goal. Just couldn't quite spot that. Now he makes the big switch, but Mbappe was like, bro, this pass 2 minutes ago you should have made. But didn't quite happen, and that's actually a pretty decent ball as well. KT looking good to score that second goal at the moment, and he's found his way through. Needed to take the shot and didn't. Needed to take that shot. It had opened up. I expected the net to bulge there. But KT Dillon just being very, very profligate with these chances.
It's quite unfortunate too, because for a second I thought, especially given the run of play, KT Dillon did deserve that goal, but just not able to make it happen. A few key errors in decision making on the attack have costed him so far, but once again, he's got the ball. The run of play is suiting him. Should be able to set up a cross right here and does exactly that. Gullit, it's wide. Lucky with the deflection, but oh my god, it's as you said, Azim. It goes wide. My heart, man, my heart.
Oh man, that was so close. So unfortunate. KT Dillon really turning the screw over here. Looks like he's gone pretty attacking. The fullbacks are pressed high up, and now V Sharma can potentially just find that long ball in behind. Because there's pretty much just two defenders sitting back over there and the two holding midfielders. And now, these are the kind of balls that V Sharma can really profit from. If he goes for a cross back post, you can find Messi there. Leaves the keeper, leaves it all open, and there you go. It's all over. Looks like no, it's offside. It's offside.
Oh my god, it's going down to the wire here in this second individual matchup between ATK Mohun Bagan and FC Goa. And down the right wing, it seems, is KT Dillon with Mbappe. Didn't have a lot of options, but is still able to get a throw secured. Will look to set it up through the midfield once again. Actually, no. He seems to prefer going down the wing a lot more, and it is, of course, a tendency we've seen exploited a lot by many a player against V Sharma because of his narrow formation. They like to go down wide to try and spread him out and then come in the center when he's spread out and has the holes in his defense.
And speaking of holes in defense, there are a few appearing for KT Dillon over here, but I don't think V Sharma will have the time. Or will he? Nope. I think he will get this ball cleared, or is it going to be a corner? No, it's cleared away. And it is 1-1, and you get what you wished for, CA. 2 games drawn, and now we go into co-op with everything to play for.
Co-op coming up for us with everything on the line, Azim. 2-2, 1-1, and now game 3, where both of these players get to play it. I think I'm also happy for them because now individually they're not going to feel as bad, but you get to see co-op wise whether they can work together and stay strong. And it's especially important for FC Goa because once again, they're the team heading into the playoffs, while there is not nearly as much pressure or things to look forward to for ATK Mohun Bagan. We'll have to see, can FC Goa pull off this co-op win? Because recently their co-op has looked quite a little bit dicey.
Yeah, usually been the most reliable, the most consistent co-op unit in the eISL, and well, we have seen them beaten by ATKMB, in fact, and we did see them lose to Mumbai City FC as well in the co-op yesterday. Very, very fine margins. I believe it was just a 1-0 defeat, and those are fine margins that they need to really iron out and get themselves going as they head into these final few matches.
And it's that point you mentioned, Azim, is because they've been so reliable in the early stages of the EISL in the co-op. It's a little weird to see them losing by such small margins in the latter stages, which is why I think this co-op game, of course, the 3 points are important, 100%, but even more than 3 points, I think it's that co-op strength that they used to have that they need to reclaim. And if they're able to get the win here, they'll be able to think about that going forward. Hey, you know what? We got that co-op win back. We don't have as much pressure nearly. Now, I think what is key though, besides that, of course, for ATK Mohun Bagan is that Vinatej is feeling himself. He's most likely going to be playing on a free note. So I'm excited to see how that challenge is circumvented by FC Goa. But in terms of this match itself, V Sharma quite ahead in terms of EXG. Maybe deserved a couple more goals, but of course, Lev Yashin came up much.
Yeah, well, actually, Katie had a couple of very, very big chances as well, with particularly that that little bit of pinball that happened off Ruud Gullit, and the ball ending up just wide of the post. So didn't quite work out. Another few opportunities where it just wasn't quite the right decision made. But of course, the right decision you can make is heading over to Terra Virtua, who of course is our digital collectibles partner. It's an entertainment-based metaverse platform where you can get particularly a lot of interesting stuff around the Hero ISL, trading cards, match moments, all that kind of fun stuff. So check it out right now.
Collect all your favorite Hero ISL moments as Terra Virtua perseveres to bring you closer to just that. But talking about close, it's been extremely close in this matchup between ATK Mohun Bagan and FC Goa. First, both of those individual matchups ending up in a draw, meaning now, Azim, we head into the co-op with everything on the line. And like we talked about for FC Goa, for them, it's a chance to really redeem their co-op game.
Yeah, definitely. And conversely, for ATKMB, it's a chance for them to just end that season on a high note, get the 3 points again, do the double over FC Goa. Not many teams have managed to do that, if any, in this tournament. So they could really make themselves that bogey team for FC Goa. And you can see a little bit of banter across the desks over there. Vinatej, just a little bit of trash talk happening, maybe. It will be fun to hear what these guys have to say. But yeah, it is the end of the road for ATKMB and FC Goa as far as the league stage goes. Of course, not the end of the road for FC Goa as far as the eISL goes, because they will be competing in those finals, going up against, well, we don't know yet. It will depend on the result of this game, because if they do lose, then it's almost certain that they will go up against SC East Bengal in the semi-final. But if they manage to get a win, potentially could avoid SC East Bengal and face Mumbai City FC instead.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where those points can be very, very important. Seeding is the name of the game, so we'll have to see if either of these teams is able to set a better seeding for the other. And I mean, if ATK Mohun Bagan get the win, they guaranteed that fourth slot. I think Mumbai City FC might not be happy unless they get the first for themselves, so we'll have to see. Right now, though, again, the one thing we do know is that ATK Mohun Bagan a lot more cheerful in their setup than they usually are. I feel like Vinatej especially can get quite gloomy if he's having an off day. So I'm glad he's not having that off day today, because of course the last day in that studio for him, that last matchup. So very glad to see him smiling.
Yeah, and will he be smiling by the end of this move though? Because FC Goa off to a frightening start, immediately playing with a lot of intent. And will we see the shot from KDB? We see the chop back, and usually the finesse shot follows. But this time with CR7, oh my goodness, off the outside of the post. Afnan just does not seem to have the luck today.
Just not able to find the push into the back of the net, and while the shots come through, they're not necessarily able to find the translation, the execution of it into actual goals. But hey, all they got to do is keep trying. Brute force is what at the end gets you a guaranteed chance of getting the goals, and they're trying to do just that. And ooh, I like the thought right there. That back pass could have ended up, that back heel could have ended up in a really nice move into the box, but very well intercepted instead.
Yeah, well intercepted for sure over there, and a good bright start to the game, you'd have to say, for FC Goa, and looking to get that goal early on, getting in with Eusebio. Not particularly convincing defending over here from ATKMB, but they do just enough. In that instance, looking to find R9 in behind the defense, and now will we see a cross played in? R9 not quite able to hold on to the ball in that moment, and playing it around the defense too much can be a bit risky, but just that one square pass was necessary to just switch the focus of the play. And now great ball found in behind for Mbappe. Ooh, just runs rings around Hakimi over there, and again, but third time is well, the charm clearly, because it manages to find its way through to an FC Goa player anyway. But yeah, ATKMB doing a decent job so far, under the cosh, under pressure for the opening 15 minutes, but surviving nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly. Just surviving and holding on while they face the onslaught of chances, hoping they can get the counter set up. Well, Marquinhos doing that is not what I expected. Either way, they are on that pushback. Now just looking to build up from the midfield slowly, and this is something, of course, that FC Goa really do look extremely strong in, which is controlling the midfield. But those 1-2s almost look like they made their way into the box, but almost is the key word, Azim. Not actually able to get it in, recovered by FC Goa, and now they're back on the pushback. Have got the ball set up, or the run set up on the left wing. The ball will now find Eusebio. He's got a few options in the box, but instead crosses is not what FC Goa like to do. They're just going to pull the ball back to the midfield and try to find a move in through a through ball instead.
Yeah, definitely. Looking for the rainbow flick. That's Afnan. He's been trying that for a couple of games now. Rainbow flick and volley. I think trying to win some kind of a goal of the tournament accolade. Maybe he has a little bet running with somebody else, saying that, oh, I bet you can't score a goal with a rainbow kick. And Afnan is like, well, I will prove you wrong. But so far, hasn't managed to do it. He's tried that 2 or 3 times in his last couple of games. This time, probably the closest he came to getting the shot off, but was not to be. ATKMB just calm on the ball, keeping possession well. This has worked very, very nicely. And now the ball falls to Pele with the roulette. Too many bodies in the way though. But it will come straight back at FC Goa.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it is going to be given away. And just as I said, given away again. FC Goa once again back on the pushback. They've got the huge run, but slightly late on the pass will mean they are ushered out of the field. Instead, a throw given to ATK Mohun Bagan, and just like that, they've been able to get themselves out of a very tight spot over there, but in a not so tight spot, they give the ball away. A few back-to-back cheap giveaways for both of these teams. It's kind of funny to watch.
Yeah, and another giveaway again. So clearly being very polite and allowing the other team to have all the goal scoring opportunities they can, but neither team quite able to capitalize so far. 32 minutes on the clock. We haven't really seen much apart from that one attempt, which clipped the outside of the post. Lovely bit of skill. That's trademark Vindratej over there.
Ooh.
And the ball cut back, and
wait,
oh
what?
My God, that's wide as well.
What?
That's wide as well. What's going on? Neither team can seem to finish off chances. We've seen 2 gilt-edged chances for both teams. Almost another one here as this very heavy touch in defense, but FC Goa get away with that. And yeah, this is looking like it's going to be decided by who makes the most mistakes right now.
Yeah, exactly. That polite nature that you're talking about apparently translates not just in the midfield, but even in the final third, because they're not able to finish off what I would assume for them are simple chances. It's quite astonishing, really. But right now, it is FC Goa looking to create themselves one more, and just not able to time the pass perfectly. A keen interception from Kante, and now the counter set up. Ronaldo is able to collect the ball down the right wing. He's got Mbappe in the box, and he's going to look to set up a cross, but I'm not sure what that was.
I think his eyes lit up thinking of this Hollywood moment where he can just volley one into the top corner on Ronaldo's left foot, and then clearly physics decided to teach him a bit of a lesson. But now again, giving up the opportunity to shoot, I think in favor of a pass that was never really on. You see CR7 running across, now hands it off to Bullet, gets the ball back again. 43 minutes on the clock. ATKMB would love a goal just before halftime. Or would they? Because every time they've scored before halftime and been leading, they've actually been pegged back. So maybe they want to go halftime level this time and try to win it by the end of the 90.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. Because, like you said, it usually has end up being a comeback for FC Goa. So it could just as easily also mean that FC Goa get the initial goal. Or maybe in the second half, what I'm hoping for, at least as a neutral observer, is that the teams just be like, yeah, screw it. Maybe see that Emil Smith Rowe coming on. They just go for some nutty plays and are able to find a miracle instead of a standard goal, because like you said earlier today, while we've seen many a different goal in the eISL, what we haven't really seen is a bicycle kick or a scorpion kick or even a backheel goal, a flare goal for that matter, like a Rabona or two. That's something I'd really like to see.
I think we have seen one Rabona finish. I do believe it was from Nodwin of Chennai FC. So hopefully we'll see more on those lines as well. I mean, it was a Rabona finish into an open goal, so it was pretty easy to execute. You still got to press the L2 button and get the shot power right and the direction right for it to go in. But now we see FC Goa coming forward just as they did the start of the first half. Coming forward with menace, but then running into pretty much a red and green colored wall in the form of those defenses. But this time, it does look like, oh my goodness, what's going on over here? They finally managed to get back.
Bit of a scuffle there in the box, but recovered nevertheless, and now set up on the attack back is ATK Mohun Bagan. Ronaldo playing with Cancelo, I believe. No, Marquinhos actually on that left wing, and Marquinhos just able to usher out his Brazilian ancestor almost and shut him down. Now, again, FC Goa trying to set up an attack, but cheaply given away on the wing. It will mean that, hey, it's time for some polite manners. You give it to us cheaply, we give it right back.
Yeah, and getting back, wait, looked like Yashin was, oh my goodness. It looked like the goalkeeper was just analyzing one of the cameras kept behind the goal and then suddenly got interested in the match again. Came running off from outside the pitch and then just pretty much karate kicked the ball onto Mbappe. So it's all happening over here. I think the players enjoying a few of the physics fails as well. But and again, lots and lots of cheap giveaways. It's almost like FC Goa are just allowing ATKMB, saying, "Go on, guys, come on, go take the win, end your tournament on a high." Tej has that pause queued now. Let's see if he can do something with it. I'm sure we're going to see Smith Rowe on at some point, maybe even a Fellaini. Let's see.
We started off as a 2-2 in the first match. We went down to 1-1 in the second. I really hope the third one doesn't end up being a 0-0. Because that would be kind of sad. We want to see goals. So let's go, guys. No more cheap giveaways. More of just key shots, maybe some long range shots, maybe some sweaty passes into the box to try and secure a goal. But right now, just not able to find a way in is FC Goa. Looking for some moves, looking for the attackers, but a compact defense just keeps shutting them down again and again by ATKMB.
Yeah, again, another promising opportunity given up, you'd have to say, and given back to ATKMB by FC Goa. It's been a recurring theme where they just keep giving them the ball. So maybe some insider trading going on with FC Goa, almost saying that, listen, you guys need to score one goal and then we'll start playing properly. But they might have that one goal.
Oh.
No, they don't. Ronaldo falling all over the place over there, but it looks like the keeper has managed to pull that save out of nowhere. Ball cleared out, and it is going to be a throw in. And yes, sorry, says Binder Tej. Maybe Katie was asking for a pass or something to that effect. But yeah, or maybe just saying sorry for missing that chance and missing the finish. But yeah, I'm sure KT must be determined to go out and get all 3 points. Still have the opportunity. Still around 30 minutes on that clock, and yeah, you can see the spirit between the two boys. They've been partners, teammates, roommates for the last 4 months, so they know each other in and out right now. Probably know each other better than a lot of their own siblings at this point. Considering, I'm sure there must have been a few arguments in between the teammates as well, particularly for ATKMB, considering just how many hardships these guys had to go through the tournament, all the lows, the few rare highs that they did get to see towards the second half of the season. But now with 20 minutes to go, that's it's offside, so the ball goes back to ATKMB, and they would love a goal. They would absolutely love it. Maybe we'll see a big celebration if they do manage to get that one goal back. We did see the pause cue from Bidil. Maybe it was a formation change, and this is the opportunity. Surely has to be in, and finally ATKMB have the goal that they have been threatening to score for the last 30 or 40 minutes of this game. And now the pressure squarely back on FC Goa again.
We saw the baby celebration come out. I hope they treat this goal lead that they have like a baby, definitely, so that they're able to hold it, secure it, and able to pick off the win. Now,
yeah, definitely. A few jokes being exchanged between the two players, maybe discussing some cheeky substitutions to come later or some cheeky tactics. I mean, if I were them, I would just hold on to the ball now forever. I'd just not give it up. 16 minutes to go, and aren't FC Goa glad that Bengaluru FC didn't manage to get the win yesterday against Hyderabad? Or even the draw, because even a draw right now could have seen Bengaluru FC just about sneaking their way into the top four. And a team that was in great form towards the end of the season finally all fell apart in those last 2 games for them. But with 77 minutes now on that clock, it's time for FC Goa to get going, get serious. They've given the ATKMB boys that one goal handicap, shall we say, and now really need to turn the screw and do what they would do in a situation like this in the finals. I mean, treat this as a dress rehearsal for those finals. Get into the box, start playing the natural passing game, and doesn't look like that's going to happen right now. Yashin gets the ball out, very composed at the back. ATKMB will look to counter, getting Ruben Diaz forward, and does quite well with his compatriot CR7, but ball given away back again, and big opportunity here, through ball, surely a goal this time. Has to put that in, and oh, how is that physically possible? It's hit the outside of the angle of the goal and gone out. I didn't think that was humanly possible to do.
I mean, I think that's the best part about, or the worst part about FIFA, depending on which side you're on, which is it continuously manages to surprise you. You know, you're never going into a game of FIFA and thinking, I've seen everything there is to see. But talking about seeing everything there is to see, we talked about this, like cheat code activated for FC Goa. As soon as they go a goal down against ATK Mohun Bagan, that's when they can score their own.
Yeah, there you go. And oh my goodness, ATKMB will be just so disappointed by that, because they did everything right. I mean, I honestly felt that should have been a pass played across to R9 and basically would have slid that into an empty net. But decided to go for the power finish with Messi on that right foot. Again, the 4-star right foot proving to be the weakness for Lionel Messi over there. Of course, very good on that left foot. Unstoppable on the left foot, but on the right foot does it makes it a 50-50 chance of it being as effective as that right foot shot. And of course, clearly the odds were not in favor of ATKMB in that moment. They still have the ball though, and they still might be able to create chances. I wonder if FC Goa were going to show the ambition to chase this game, or are they going to be happy to just see out the draw? Draw, of course, still keeps them in that fourth place, and yeah, it does look like it's meandering out to a draw, and that's what it will be.
A draw to end it off seems most likely, but right now FC Goa on the attack with one final chance. They've got Ronaldo in the box, but blocked away by ATK Mohun Bagan. Still the corner available and the clock will go on as long as the ball is near the box. So FC Goa will try to maintain that, but they're running it towards the center line. Could have been disastrous. Instead pulls it back. They get Ruben Diaz on the edge of the box, and that's the end of it. 2-2, 1-1, 1-1 as both of the teams exchange a point, and ATK Mohun Bagan get to end their eISL journey saying, hey, there was a top 4 team that was not able to beat us in both of our sets.
Yeah, I mean they'll take heart from that. Eventually, ending with 3 wins and 2 draws, giving them 11 points overall. So that, of course, is ATKMB's season done, ending on a goal difference of -78. Not a stat that they will look back upon fondly, but well, there you go. Considering they scored 82 goals themselves, it's really been the defense that's let them down. But yeah, they'll be pleased to end by not losing. It like leaves them with like a decent note, and yeah, we look forward to seeing, of course, Binder Tej and Katie Dillon in future tournaments as well across. I'm sure you will see them in LAN events once they do start in the real world as well. So lots of stuff to look forward to there, and was a tight game for the opening sort of half, but then really started to get going in that second half.
Yeah, and again, it was really felt like FC Goa only got activated after ATK Mohun Bagan scored a goal. So for FC Goa, individually, I think they're going to have to look through what is going wrong with their co-op game, because we really got to see a lot more of a commanding display in the initial stages of the eISL, which was simply not present in this stage. Having said that though, I think a draw is a fair result for both of these teams because they get to hand off on a content note. FC Goa as well, their league stage matches are done and dusted, so just like that, they get to now sit back, watch the others play and prepare for their playoffs upcoming.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could see over there, I think Bindrate just a little amused, shall we say, that KT did decide not to pass to him when he was all open, and then the sucker punch going up the other way. And FC Goa managing to hold on and get that 1 point, and that pretty much, it pretty much decides that FC Goa will be in 4th spot, whether they play Mumbai City FC or SC's Bengal. We will know in the coming days. But pretty even game over there, 2.8 to 2.4 the XG. FC Goa as expected, dominating possession. But yeah, there you go. It is FC Goa now consigned for sure. We know that FC Goa will finish in 4th place. And who are they going to face now? Is it going to be Mumbai City FC or SC East Bengal?
Yeah, and I'm actually curious if we end up getting one of the FC Goa boys on the interview later, because I'd be curious to ask them like we asked the Mumbai City FC, because Mumbai City FC, they said they want FC Goa. I wonder if that feeling is reciprocated.
Yeah, well, I mean, it will be interesting to find out how it goes. I mean, irrespective, you still will have to beat the best teams to get that number 1 prize. So, irrespective. But FC Goa they have a bit of work to do, and of course they're going to have, it is of course the 9th now, the finals start on the 14th. So they have about 5 days to really sit and work on their game. But let's find out now who the hero of the match is. It will be a pretty tight call to see who actually managed to get that, and looks like it is V Sharma getting the hero of the match award for himself, scoring those 2 goals. It does look like it was one is the individual game and one in the co-op. So yeah, getting the job done, getting another hero of the match award to his name.
Yeah, hero of the match, very, very much deserved, of course, for him. But really, I think what was crucial that I got to see in his gameplay today was not nearly as much hair ruffling or pressure taken, essentially, is what I mean, in the fact that he seemed to be a lot more focused, and that's what we really were questioning yesterday, that we wanted to see that focus come out for him. So we'll have to see now, can this translate into the playoffs, or is this just a case of low intensity match, so he's not feeling as much pressure, because come playoffs, it is going to be a lot of pressure, and he's going to have to deliver, if not the same level, a better level of performances.
Also, time for us to find out what is the Terra Virtuos super moment of the match. We did have quite a few goals to choose from today, and yeah, it does look like it's going to be Afnan's equalizing goal against ATKMB. Turned out to be very crucial, because without this goal, of course, well, all 3 points would have gone to the boys in red and green. So worked this actually quite decently, did Afnan, and managed to get in behind. And you can see over there, once he got there, showing the composure, just picking out Pele over there and smashing it in. No real reaction from him, but a very, very important goal nonetheless.
Oh yeah, very, very important goal, of course. Simply because of the fact that he maintained that draw. You can see, I think this is where I say that Afnan has really evolved as a player. He's never content with anything but the very best, and I like that kind of mentality. It's a real winner's mentality.
Yeah, also enjoyed V Sharma's reaction. He was like, "Okay, that's a good goal. That's a good goal." But yeah, let's take a look now at the leaderboard as everything starts to slowly fall into place. ATKMB and FC Goa have now both played their entire set of matches in the league stage. ATKMB undefeated, to be noted, against FC Goa, the only team they managed to do that against. And FC Goa will finish the season on 33 points. Of course, they will be part of the playoffs, and Bengaluru FC will be just looking at that, saying, "Oh man, if we had just got at 27, if we had got those couple of more points yesterday, we could have overthrown them and got them on goal difference." But hey, was not to be. And now it's to be battled out between Mumbai City and SC's Bengal, and potentially Chennai and FC could take second place if Mumbai manage to somehow lose both of their remaining matches. So still plenty of permutations and combinations for what could happen over there. We do have a pretty good game coming up later on, Bengaluru FC in action, but we do have an interview queued up, so let's head in straight into the studio. We have an FC Goa player. We have V Sharma. Vanshaj, congrats. It's finally official. You have made the top four. I think a lot of relief for you after yesterday's result, seeing what happened with Bengaluru. So how are you feeling now that it's official?
I'm feeling great because of the yesterday's match. We were really disappointed because we just wanted to finish it once and for all by defeating Mumbai City, but we just had mood swings in that 1 hour. After our game there was Bangalore versus Hyderabad, so I'm feeling great right now.
And I'm really curious about the playoffs itself, about who you want to face, because today we got to see Mumbai City FC in an interview. They said that they want to face FC Goa. So do you think that's a challenge? You're up for it, or is there any other team you've especially got your eyes on for the first playoff match?
For the playoffs, I would like to face Mumbai City too because they still have a chance to finish first. So out of the three teams, I would surely want to face Mumbai City.
All right, looks like we have a grudge match set then. So you guys still have a little bit to work on though. Not been the best of form over the last 2 or 3 games. So what's the stuff that you guys feel you really need to work on right now?
I feel it's the co-op. We are just not practicing that much. I feel for the playoffs we need to little brush off our co-op. So I feel we'll practice it out in those 5 days.
Yeah, fair enough. I think at the end of the day, you were able to secure the draw today, and we'll hope you'll be able to continue the momentum going on forward into the playoffs. Very excited to see you in action there.
Sure. Thank you.
Right, there you go. It's FC Goa versus Mumbai City FC grudge match. Bring it on. Let's have it tonight. But no, we do have to wait until the 14th for the finals to begin. But you don't have to wait to get your NFT merchandise, your Hero ISL trading cards, personalized moments. Just head over to Terra Virtua and check it all out.
Of course, a chance for you to get closer to the special Hero ISL moments is always something that I can appreciate. But talking about things that need to be appreciated, of course, this platform wouldn't exist without a few key partners. So a big shout out to them. The eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nodwin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. And with that, Azim, we are nearing the end of the second match. We've got one more crucial one to go. Like you said, lots of permutations, combinations still to look out for. So make sure you folks don't miss out on any of the action. But for now, we're going to take a small break.